Congrats to Manchester United for winning the Manchester Derby, the last one of the decade, but we're going to get straight into it because we're going to be about as serious and as personal as possible. My goodness, Manchester City fans, the racist abuse hurled at Fred, hurled at Aaron Wan-Bissaka, hurled at Marcus Rashford. This is abysmal, and there is no way you can get, there's no way, shape, or form you get around this. This was a disappointing display for all of England, because we've been talking for weeks and weeks now how Italy are stuck in the past and how Italy have been the scum of football, and how, it's really hard for players of color to be able to feel safe or feel included when there's obviously racist abuse, when there's bottles, lighters, when stuff is thrown at them. We had this whole situation with Raheem Sterling in England for the England national team. Back when they were playing Montenegro. Actually, several times Raheem Sterling has been hurled racist abuse at, and Manchester City have been the forefront of they need to ban this, they need to do whatever. And now Manchester City English fans from Manchester City are doing this to Brazilian. Man City should be ashamed of themselves. It is absolutely dreadful. It was absolutely dreadful to watch. It was dreadful to it just hurt my feelings to even just see it and process it. I didn't even care about the game after it. I did not care. I wanted City to lose and lose infinitely. And I hope that the English FA make a statement out of this. I hope they don't just ban the fan or just get rid of the fan. I hope that there are sanctions brought down, because it needs to change. There needs to be something to change in world football, so players know that there are consequences, that they will be, that the FA will have their back, that clubs will have their back, that teams will have their back when situations like this happen. And speaking as a Chelsea fan, we've dealt with this a lot. Let's face it, Chelsea are usually the club people think of when you think racist behavior in football. And it's because the Chelsea fans around the world are entitled. Chelsea fans are extremely entitled, and they feel, despite black players being on the team, despite all English players being, or a majority of English players being on the team, they feel like they have some sense of higher propriety. And I think Manchester City fans are starting to see themselves in the same light, because this is just absolutely dreadful. The last big situation I think that we had of racist abuse in England was Chelsea versus Manchester City, and it was the Chelsea fans who were abusing Raheem Sterling. And now Manchester City, as most people who have racist actions or have the monkey chant noises or whatever, they forget their past. They forget what has transpired to lead to what today is. And I'm hoping in some capacity that Manchester City can have a valid discussion about this, that Raheem Sterling can be the figure that he is in social and political issues, and bring down action, or not bring down action himself, but ask the club to seek action, to seek them to go further, to take the next step, to lead the way. And it was a dreadful decision in a game that was actually very, very amazing. And I think Manchester United, guys, they have done absolute wonders against the Big Six. They beat Tottenham with Mourinho. They beat Pep Guardiola with Manchester City. They're now up to what, 5th with 24 points? Marcus Rashford as well. The man is going nuts. He's closing in on being the Premier League's top goal scorer. And that's unbelievable when you think about what Manchester United have been, the sort of banteresque club. They're catching Chelsea now. They are on the road to catching Chelsea in the table. I think they're 5 points back, obviously with games to play tomorrow. But Manchester United has been not revived by any means. There are still a lot of issues that need to be taken care of, but 11 shots, 7 on target. They held Manchester City to only 5 on target, and City barely even deserved that goal from Otamendi. Obviously, people are going to kind of talk about the VAR issues, the penalties, and obviously the Manchester Derby is one heated affair, but issues arise in these games that shouldn't be taken lightly, and it's really, really disappointing to see how sort of obscure these situations have become. The fact that they were also throwing things onto the pitch is just beyond me at how idiotic it is. It's just so dumb. It is bananas stupid. And I guess that wasn't the right word to use, but this is just unbelievable how dumb I'm glad the Manchester City fans who were found guilty were kicked out immediately. I hope that they're banned for life. I hope their families are banned for life. That this is something that needs to be taken with the utmost sincerity, and it needs to have causality. We need to see something that's going to change, because Fred, Marcus Rashford, Wan-Bissaka, the black players that are playing for Manchester United don't deserve this. They did not deserve it. And the players who just left for Man United, Lukaku and Chris Smalling, they were dealing with the same situation in Italy for the race. I can't even remember what, the Corriere dello Sportivo or something like that. But the fact that it then happens to Manchester United players on the weekend in a city derby, a rival derby, is just beyond me. In Manchester City, it's... I saw this joke on Twitter. I'm gonna use it. It's ironic that the plastic bottles were being thrown at Fred because of the plastic fans of City. And realistically, the fans who are probably doing this, they probably are plastic. They are not true supporters of Manchester City. And this is not to say all Man City fans are plastic, but it's to say that these types of supporters, they do not deserve to be at that stadium. They do not deserve to be anywhere near the pitch. They do not deserve to be anywhere near the players where their hideous actions and words and chants even deserve to be heard. And I'm sorry to the Manchester United players that had to deal with this abuse, and I'm hoping that Manchester City, that all of the figureheads that are on Manchester City, including Pep Guardiola, take a stand against this, and that they point out the fans responsible, that they take heavy action on it. But yeah, congrats to Manchester United on winning the derby. Manchester is red once again. To see United do so well against teams from the top 6, I hope now they can put together a good run of form, because although I want Chelsea to secure Champions League football, we're not playing that great lately. And that video will be coming out right after this. I'm going to record that right after this, the Chelsea game versus Everton, because the fact that Everton lost their manager and still absolutely plastered Chelsea is just so depressing. But let me know your guys' thoughts on the incidents that happened in Manchester down in the comments below. Obviously, there's a discussion that needs to be had, and I will tell your guys' stance on it, I guess, by the likes, dislikes, and comments. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.